Hey guys, it's Jack from the Real Estate School and Jack Gately Real Estate, of course. And I wanted to bring you up to date on a new change voted by the Board of Registration today. Breaking news, 9/20, so September 20th. They have, and I'm going to try to bring this up for the screen on for you in just a second here so you can see it yourself. They have amended the Massachusetts Mandatory Licensee Consumer Relationship Disclosure, or as a lot of you just call it, the relationship disclosure. So let's bring this up on the screen so that you can see what this is going to mean for you in your practice of real estate. Okay, so here we go here. By the way, this is the first time I'm looking at it, or I just got it like an hour ago. So all new to me as well, although I know they've been debating it and I've read some prior versions. But this here with the red is the new language. So I'm sure you're all familiar with this, of course, if you're currently licensed. And if you're new, well, then this will be the new normal for you. All licensees must present this form to you at the first personal meeting with you to discuss a specific residential property. And by the way, they said they'd fix the spelling mistakes later. This is not my spelling, although my spelling is even worse. So they're making it clear here that this is for residential property, and that has been somewhat of a discussion about whether or not this form applies to commercial property or residential rentals. And the way I read it, they're making it now crystal clear that that does not apply to commercial property. At least the way I read it. The next sentence is the new one, and it's a long sentence or two, and so we'll cut it down into sections here. If there is no personal meeting between you and the licensee, this form must be presented electronically by e-signature, basically, or through some other means. And I like that because that kind of allows for, I like that phrase, or through some other means, because that allows for the advancement of technology and therefore, might not have to revisit this um, in the future should there be something other than electronic. So I like that. Before the licensee enters into a contract with a consumer. So that further narrows this down effectively to either a listing agreement or the right to represent if you're working on the buyer side. Residential property, and they go on to define residential property as being a land with a building intended for a 1 to 4 unit dwelling, or land intended to have constructed a 1 to 2 unit residential dwelling. So I'm not sure what the board was thinking in terms of having two standards there, but if there's a building there now and it's 1 to 4 units, you got to use this form. If there's no building there now and they only intend to build a 1 to 2 unit, then you got to use this form. I guess what they're saying, if they're building something new on a blank piece of land, so to speak, and it's 3 plus, then I guess that's considered an investment in commercial property. So I guess that's where they're drawing the line, the way I read it. Referring back to my prior guidance on this, I've made a couple of videos about this. I'm strongly recommending that you use this form in the beginning of the relationship. At the first possible opportunity, either the first personal meeting, or now, as the state seems to have given you guidelines, this form must be presented through some other means before the licensee enters into a contract. Now, that seems to exclude rentals, because there is no contract with the consumer in rentals in most cases. There's a fee disclosure if the tenant has to pay a fee, but that fee disclosure is also not a contract. And there might be a lease, but that is not a contract for which the licensee is a party to. Oh, sorry, somebody driving by. And the other thing is, this does not seem to cover situations where the licensee is putting in an offer and there is no exclusive right to represent agreement. A right to represent agreement, of course, is a contract between the consumer and the licensee and the agency. But there are plenty of times where you might represent a buyer without an exclusive right to represent. In those cases, I would strongly recommend that you have this form completed at the time that you're writing up the offer, if not earlier. So I just wanted to bring this to you as quickly as I could, get this out the door. I know that you're all going to be seeing this in your inboxes fairly soon, and I wanted to provide as much information as I could, plus some thoughts. So thanks for watching. OnlineRealEstateAcademy.com, Jack Gately Real Estate. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.